Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and radical blessings to all of you. I am Michael B. Beckwith, and welcome to the Take Back Your Mind Life Question of the Week podcast. Well, I'll seek to answer the questions that you have emailed in. Make sure that you subscribe and like the podcast and tell your friends. Let's create a movement of wholeness and health and vitality, a movement of spiritual awakening, and you can be a part of it as you listen to Take Back Your Mind podcast and Take Back Your Mind podcast Life Question of the Week. Today the question is coming from Dawn, and she's hailing from Tucson. And she asked this question. The world teaches us that we need to have a goal and a plan. She put both of those in quotes. That we need to ruthlessly focus on that plan until we achieve our goal. The word achieve is in quotes. Meanwhile, at this stage of my evolution, instead of having a plan already laid out and following that, I feel that the Spirit guides me moment by moment, and that things seem to unfold for me on a need-to-know basis. What is the difference between having a vision versus a goal and trusting that vision to unfold perfectly versus me following a plan? This is a great question, Dawn. I often teach that there are three kinds of people. Now, making it simple, of course, there are more than three kinds of people. There's task-oriented people, there's goal-oriented people, and there's purpose, vision-oriented people. In other words, there are people that have tasks, but they don't have a goal or a purpose or a vision. There are people who have goals, but they don't necessarily have a higher purpose or a vision. And then there are people who have a vision / a purpose. Now, when you're just task-oriented and you don't really have a goal or you don't have a purpose, you don't have a vision, it's like building sandcastles on the beach. Eventually the water's just going to wash it away. Your life is purposeless. You're just doing tasks, but it's not for a higher purpose. It's not for higher goals. Then there are people who have goals. Now, when you have a goal, there are tasks that you need to achieve the goal. But then there are people who have a higher purpose. They have a great vision. And within that vision and in that purpose, there are goals. Now, there are people that are just goal-oriented, and they discover oftentimes that they'll achieve goals, but they're not necessarily happy because there's no purpose. They're achieving a goal, but they reach the goal and they say, I remember there was a moment years ago. There was a person, a quarterback who won the Super Bowl, and his mic was still left on when he walked into the locker room. And he walked in, and he said, "Is this all there is?" In other words, he achieved the pinnacle of what the National Football League has as a goal, which is to achieve the Super Bowl. But when he achieved it, he felt kind of empty because he didn't have a higher purpose for his life. So when you ask vision versus following a plan, plans are good. When you have a purpose and a vision, in other words, within you, within all of us, there is a destiny, there is a vision for our life. And I teach this in the vision process. We teach to ask, what is that? What is the vision for my life? And what is my purpose? Now, I teach everyone has the same purpose. And that is to reflect and to reveal divinity, or reflect and reveal the love, intelligence, and beauty of the universe. Whether you call that God, whether you call that life. We're here to reflect that in our life. It's a very high purpose. And then we have goals within that high purpose. So that where you are in your evolution, You're seeking to have a higher purpose for your life. And it doesn't mean you don't plan, doesn't mean you don't have goals, but it's attached to a higher vision and a higher purpose. So that your goals are a subset of a higher purpose. So that as you achieve goals, it's a part of something higher. So you're not just being burnt out on achieving goals. Your goal becomes a part of a higher plan or a higher purpose for your life. This is where you seem to have evolved. That therefore, on a need-to-know basis, you can adjust the plan. You can even adjust goals because you're going for something higher to reflect and to reveal the cosmos. The cosmos wants to know itself as your life. So you're constantly on the edge of becoming more and more what? Your true self, your authentic self, your eternal self, your immortal self, the next great version of yourself. So you're not just achieving goals and staying the same. Your goal is a pathway for your growth, development, and unfoldment. So when you achieve a goal, you're a different person than the person who started the goal. You understand? I remember there was a movie out called The Chariots of the Gods, I think it was called. And they primarily focused on two athletes that were running sprints. One loved to run. Loved it just for the sake of running. The other one was just basically focused on winning. Now, the person that loved to run ended up winning, but winning wasn't just the end-all, be-all. He loved to be in tune with nature, loved to be in tune with life. So winning was a subset of his connection to the ineffable. So even if he didn't win, he was still going to be happy because he loved to run. But the other one, winning was the whole thing. He didn't win. But even if he did win, he may not have been attached to a higher purpose. I may be oversimplifying the movie, but that's what I got out of it. So you're at a point where you're opening yourself up to a need-to-know basis, which means you're in tune with your higher self, your intuition, which may adjust your plans to achieve your goals. But your goals are a subset of a higher vision and a higher purpose. Learn to articulate that, and you'll be, as I teach, you're pushed by pain until you're pulled by a higher vision. I hope that's helpful. Have a beautiful day, everyone. There's a higher purpose calling you. Peace and blessings. Hey, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to ask a question, please email me at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And you know what? Your question just might be featured. Have a beautiful and bright day.